Okay, so I'm going to make another video of my Hovercraft for Unity. So earlier today, I set it up so that when I hit C, the player mounts the bike. And if I hit the right mouse button, it should go faster, and go backwards and turn, forwards and turn. The only problem is there's like a jitteriness with the camera. But if it's down here, it's okay. But as soon as it goes up, I don't know what's causing it, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. Today I'm going to, or not today, sorry, for this video I'm going to focus on implementing some of the animations. So for the Hovercraft, I'm going to start off by adding a female warrior to the Hovercraft. And as you can see, the this other female warrior is off. I'll turn this one off too. And I just need to make sure that in some of these there's like this field with female warrior hovercraft. I'm just going to replace it with the new one that I just created. And same thing, the camera with female warrior. This one here. Just need to replace that. So okay, so I'm going to create two animators. Create animator, Hovercraft, animator, and another one called FW for female warrior, Hovercraft, animator. Okay. So for the female warrior that I just created, it has an animator already attached to it. I just need to dump the animator there, and for the hovercraft, I'm going to dump the hovercraft animator to here. So for the hovercraft, transition, oops. So by default, this one's going to be just one animation, which is what's it called? Landed idle. So it's just sitting there. Back to the base layer. I'm going to create a boolean. I'm going to call it is mounted. And by default, it's going to be false. Create a new entry called mounted. This one for now I'll just keep just one motion field. This one's just going to be the hover idle. And I'm going to make a transition there and back. Turn these off. So when is mounted is true, then it goes to mounted. But if mounted is false, and it goes back. Okay. One thing I forgot to do. I don't need this one anymore. Delete that. Female warrior is going to go in here, under the main bone. The female warrior. The default pose is going to be, the default animation is going to be Hovercraft. Hoverbike. No, it's idle. Okay, it must be this one. Okay. So need to make sure so I'm going to create a goal called is mounted equals false. Actually, I need, yeah, is mounted equals false. I want to have to find a way to get this to communicate with this script. So in order to do that, I'm going to reference a different script that I used earlier. Okay, I need to give this a namespace first. So if you don't know what a namespace is, it's mainly used if you ever need to like reference this like a script from somewhere else, then you have to give it a namespace. So what I basically do is I take the name of the script and I just reverse the two words. So I'm just going to call the namespace movement Hovercraft, and that's at the very top of the entire script. So you have to put these curly brackets to cover the whole thing. So at the very top, what's going on here? What is this? Okay, I'm gonna. So if I want to reference this script from this player movement script, then because I created this namespace, I go up here and go using movement Hovercraft. Okay, so now that error disappears. So in the hovercraft. So when you're using like a namespace, all of a sudden, I don't really understand why, but this hovercraft script becomes a type. So I'm just giving it a different name. So the script is called hovercraft movement. I'm calling it hovercraft movement with a lowercase. And then in my other script I put, oh sorry, hovercraft, I want to name it hovercraft movement script. So hovercraft movement script equals, let's copy this, paste this into the update function, and then just change the names. Hovercraft movement script is equal to hovercraft so hovercraft movement script is equal to the hovercraft, this script, which is attached to this hovercraft game object. So once I've done that, I can say whenever I press the Z key, whenever I press the Z key, the hovercraft movement script that I created here, I'm going to set the is mounted to true. Make sure oh, I know, I need to make this public. So as I make that public and save it, and yep. So as soon as I press this, and it switches over to the hover wig, this false turns into a true. So now all I need to do is if is mounted equals false, else if is mounted equals true, then in the animator your dot set bool is mounted as false, which is what it is by default. And in this case, if is mounted as true, then this should be true. Okay, so I'm gonna test this out. So if I hit play, the hover bike is sitting on the ground, but as soon as I hit Z, it should, there we go. It's like off the ground and like it's playing that hovering animation. But it's still got that that crazy camera jitteriness, which I don't know how to fix yet. And if I press Z again, then it's dismounted, but it's still playing. It's false. Ah, okay, I know why. When I press the Z from the hover bike, then is mounted, needs to be set to false. So it hovers, and it's no longer hovering, but it is still a little bit off the ground. I don't know why. Oh, I see. I just need to bring it down. Oh, I know what it is. The skin width. So Hovercraft selected. This camera controller has a skin width. And the lowest possible value I believe is 0.01. By default it's 0.08. Now it should be flush with the ground. I press Z. Okay. Another thing that I need to do is oh, I made a mistake. For the animations, when she's mounting and dismounting, this shouldn't be looping. Create a trigger called mount, and another trigger called dismount. Drag the mount first. So, yeah, sometimes it does this, I don't know why. This gives me two files. I can get rid of that one. And same thing for this one. You have to apply. Okay, so that way I only have one of these. Okay, so this one's called mount. This is dismount. Create a trigger for both of these. So for mount. So for this one, I'm not going to give it any condition. I'm just going to, as soon as it triggers, it bounces back. Same with this one. So dismount, bounce back. So I wonder if from the player movement, if I press Z, Hovercraft movement script. Female warrior hovercraft animator dot set trigger mount. I don't know if this is going to work. No, that's probably not going to work. I need to create another animator. This animator is going to be called Female Warrior Animator. And Female Warrior Animator equals hovercraft.get component. Oh no, it doesn't have to be. I don't need to use Hovercraft. I think that should work, but I'm not sure. And when it's pressed from here, I do the exact same thing. this is have to specify which game object. And same thing with here. So this one's going to be the snout. Okay. I play. And I hit Z. Doesn't play the animations. I'm gonna pause this here for a second. Okay, I'm going to try something different here. So whenever, just say the player is possessed, or the player is being controlled, the Z button is pressed. I'm going to start a coroutine. And this coroutine is going to be called mount. So coroutines, if you don't know, they're used to set a delay. So as soon as the Z button is pressed, you can put add a delay of any length right here. I'm going to put 1 second. So this is the stuff that happens right after I press the Z happens here, but all the stuff that happens after 1 second happens here. So I need to move some things. I don't know why this is an object. Oh, and you also have to double check that when I wrote these animators for FW Animator, you have to make sure that it's of type animator. Same with Hovercraft. Make sure that this is animator, not game object. stuff that I want to happen right away is hovercraft movement script is mounted. Okay, this could happen after 1 second. Game objects and active false. So as soon as I press the Z key, this triggers the coroutine, and while it's the 1 second is passing by, right away as soon as I hit Z, the animator should play the mount animation of the female warrior sitting on the bike. The camera and the female warrior are set to false, so they're inactive, but the hovercraft and female warrior on the hovercraft are set to true. So that's correct. But after 1 second, is mounted boolean in the hovercraft movement script is true. It's not mounted until the animation's over. So the mounting animation is playing for 1 second, and then it's true. Okay, and the hovercraft movement script is enabled. Okay, I'm gonna see what that does. So when I play, move around, press Z. My keys aren't working for some reason. What did I do wrong? Okay, this didn't do anything. I'm going to skip that part for now. What I'm going to do instead is I'm going to get the distance. I'm going to, right now she can be standing anywhere, but I'm going to make it so that she mounts the bike only if she's within a certain distance. So I'll use this distance to, first I have to create a float, private float distance to hover bike. I'm just going to copy and paste this piece of code. Beginning of the update function, distance to hover bike is the distance between Hovercraft. Okay, so, no, I should change this name to Hovercraft. Okay, so when the Z button is pressed, if distance to hovercraft is smaller or equal to I'm not sure what the units I should be using. Just say 100 for now. It's probably too big. I'm just going to do 10. If distance is that, then it's smaller or equal to 10, and do all this stuff. So if I hit play, if I hit Z, maybe a bit further, okay, nothing happens. So obviously 10 is a huge number, bigger than I thought, so I can mount it from there. What if it was 1? If I go into wireframe, okay, I can see all the. So this must be one of each of these squares must be like 1 unit. So I must have been like 10 must have been like out here with the hover bike. So if I set it to 1, maybe that's better. So if I'm right, then if I hit the Z button from here, there's no mount. If I go here, there shouldn't be any mount. It's only when I'm about here. There we go. That's good. Another problem is when I dismount, she maintains her position, which is not what I want. So I need to add in the hovercraft, go to location. So the Z is the forward. So for this go to location, I'm going to rotate it. So so that the Z is pointing this way. And I need to make sure. Okay, that's good enough. So whenever she dismounts, okay, so first in the Hovercraft, got to create public game object FW go to location. I'm going to quickly compile that, just in case I forget to dump this in. So that field that I just created is right here, so I'm just going to dump that in there. So as soon as the button is pressed to dismount, I want her, I'm just going to copy and paste this. This female, so I want the female warrior. Warrior.transform position and female warrior.transform rotation to be at the FW go to location. So oh, this has to be a transform, which if I compile, it's going to tell me, if I go back, it's going to tell me that it's a mismatch. So if I go here, oh, maybe not. That's good, okay. So now, if I press E, nothing happens. If I go close enough, then I mount. Let's just say I go somewhere else, way far away from where I originally was. And then I hit Z now, then she should appear. Oh no. Why? Female warrior. I'm going to create another one called public transform female warrior transform. See if this works. Warrior transform. Warrior transform. The reason why is because what I had here originally was the female warrior, but it's a game object. Maybe that's why. Which means it's going to ask me for another female warrior down here. So I've got one here, which is the game object, and then I have this one, which is what I just created, which is the transform. I hope this works. Get close enough. Press Z. Go far, far away. Press Z again. No, it doesn't work. Oh dear. Okay, so there's an obvious reason why this isn't working. It's because when the hovercraft is mounted, then the female warrior is disabled, so therefore this can't possibly be triggered. So I'm just going to get rid of all this. The thing that I did that I shouldn't do is, I thought back to what it was. I tried parenting it to the main bone, but that makes no difference. Instead, what I'm going to do is within the flare movement, I am going to create a public void called move to location. Oops. That is going to be triggered by so whenever hovercraft, whenever the button is pressed, other game object with a script called player movement tutorial. Move to location. And this is empty. Okay. So whenever this button is pressed, the female warrior, I'm going to move this down here. So whenever the female, or whenever the Z button is pressed, it's going to, whenever the Z button is pressed from the hovercraft, then it's going to trigger this, which is this here. So I just need to tell it what to do here. So I need to grab a public transform, go to location. And I gotta grab that piece of code again. No, that's not the one. Let's type it in. Transform dot position equals go to location dot transform dot position, and then oops, transform dot rotation equals go to location dot transform dot rotation. So whenever the Z is while the hover bike is mounted, it triggers this once. It's not triggered by an update function, so it only does it once. So let's go back here. Just gotta dump that into the go-to location on the hover bike, which is this next spot. So if I play, walk over to mount. As soon as I dismount, oh, it doesn't trigger. Why doesn't it trigger? Try putting this way up here. Okay, there we go. Perfect. So if I mount, I just need to go, so from here, nothing should happen. Press mount, mount it. But as soon as I hit set again, I should appear right next to the Hovercraft. Okay, I think that's enough for this video. There's more that I wanted to do today, but I spent way too much time troubleshooting, so I'm going to call it quits today. And hopefully I'll see you in future videos. Okay, thanks.